Hello and welcome back to the channel. The other day I had made mention of an article that I had seen, and I was trying to remember it while I was doing another video. Pardon the noise in the background. There's work going on, so excuse me. But anyway, I ended up finding the article. It was a tab that was still left up on my screen. They were talking about how food and energy tycoons managed to make $1 billion every 2 days during the pandemic. Now, this is while some people are skipping meals because they can't afford to eat, right? People are pinching pennies and just trying to scrape by, living from paycheck to paycheck, in some cases losing jobs, right? But food and energy tycoons still manage to make $1 billion in profit every 2 days, not a year, every 2 days. I mean, that's not surprising to me because this is how this system works, right? This system has been working like that for a very long time, but it's unfortunate that some of the very same people who suffer as a result of this system also defend the system, meaning you can tell them that this stuff is happening, but they are still going to go to bat for the system. They are still going to defend the system because they have been tricked into believing that this system is for them, or as long as it's more for them than another group, then they are okay, then they are going to come out on the winning side. And so it's unfortunate that this is what is happening, that times have gotten so rough that people are actually signing up or complicit with their own, I can't say demise because, well, in some cases it is their own demise, but people are complicit with being mistreated and literally, treated like a slave, right? Because you have people still plugging away, working for these same companies that are making this $1 billion profit every 2 days. You have people working for these companies, but they are not reaping the benefits. When that increase happens, you can trust and believe that they're not going to profit share with their employees. When they make that $1 billion every 2 days, they're not going to go to all of those people working on the lines or in the cubicles or in the field. They're not going to go to them and say, we've made an extra $1 billion of profit every 2 days, so let's give you a bonus. Many times when these companies give a bonus, it's around holiday times, or should I say Christmas or Thanksgiving, where you'll get a free turkey. Christmas, you might get a $50 bonus, a $100 bonus, which that don't even put a dent in $1 billion every 2 days, right? They throw you crumbs while they're reaping massive benefits, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with a company making a profit. I mean, that's what they're in business for. It wouldn't be worth their time if they're not going to make a profit. But you have to ask yourself, if everybody else is suffering, paying all of these large amounts for food and energy, because energy prices went through the roof. We noticed right away. It's like the price of heating your house, if you use gas, went through the roof. Now, we use wood burning stove, but we also have propane for heating the water, right? And our propane bill doubled. The propane also operates our generator. And so that propane bill doubled. The electric bill, I would say that almost doubled, right? And so we notice the difference. I know everyone else notices the difference too. And of course, they've been slowly driving up gas prices. During the pandemic, initially, gas prices went down because people were staying at home. But now the gas prices is like they're trying to play catch up now. They want to make up for the money that they lost during the pandemic, right? But it was very disturbing to me to see that these companies actually made that kind of money every 2 days. Every 2 days. And we're talking about things that are necessary for people to survive. People need food to survive. So that's where you want to hit people. You want to hit them right where they need it most. Food. Energy. Because most people a lot of people use gas to heat their water. It doesn't matter if you're if you're using a gas furnace or if you're using gas, propane, whatever the gas is, it's still expensive either way it goes. And to put this on people like this, and you're trying to make us think that there's a shortage on these things when really it's not. They are doing exactly what they want to do, and they can report anything they want to report. I saw something earlier today where they were talking about how the media pretty much shapes people's thoughts and minds. They give you the narrative that they want you to believe, and most people accept it for what it is. They don't challenge it. They don't question it, you see. And that's where the world is today. We are living in a time to where whatever is presented to us as facts, and you either take it or leave it. And if you don't want to accept what they're saying, they're like, what are you going to do about it? You see, what are you going to do about it? Then most people aren't in a position to do anything about it. And so the narrative remains what they want it to be. If they want you to believe A, B, C, they're going to do everything within their power to make you or force you to believe A, B, C. And most people are okay with that. Most people aren't going to question anything. It's really sad when the majority of the population has arrived to that point of believing anything that they hear in the media, you see. And you hear all these people talking about their patriots, they're this, that, and the third. And the most I see a lot of people doing is stocking up to take care of their own needs, okay? Nothing wrong with that, right? Stocking up to take care of their own needs, their own protection, and all of this. As if there's not a system in place that can just come and say, look, everything that you've stocked up, everything that you've saved, we need it for the greater good. You know, and this is why we have to pray and ask the Most High for direction. Those of you who are believers, I believe that if we ask the Most High for direction, He will show us, He will teach us how to navigate through all of this, right? And of course, there's the prayer that says, pray that you are counted worthy to escape the things that are coming upon this earth. Pray that you are counted worthy. When I look around, you know, sometimes there are days where you feel a little sense or a little nudge of fear, but then we can't be governed by fear. So you pray and ask, you say, Father, you know what? I'm feeling something in my spirit that I shouldn't be feeling. I'm not supposed to live in fear. I'm not supposed to think like this. And so you ask the Most High to give you the strength and the courage and the understanding of how to navigate through these things, right? So that you are not governed by fear. Now, some people aren't governed by anything. They don't have any fear. They don't have any concern. Their lives are kind of like hit and miss. Their thoughts are nothing has happened too bad yet. I'm still alive. I'm still here. So I'm just going to keep on wasting time. Some people don't believe that the crap is about to hit the fan or has hit the fan. Some people believe that one of these days they're going to wake up and we're going to be back in 1990. Okay, back in the year 2000, back in 2006, where things were quite different than they are today. Some people are still believing like that. Some people aren't thinking anything. They're just living their lives, right? Living their lives as if one of these days, all is going to be well. And that ain't even what was prophesied. What was prophesied to us was that perilous times are going to come. And as I've said so many times on this channel, perilous times, they're not coming. They're here. Perilous times are here. Everybody's situation and circumstances are different. Some are feeling it more than others. There are those who can barely feel the pinch. There are those who are starting to feel the pinch. There are those who have been feeling it for a very long time. There are those who were born into the pinch. You know what I'm saying? So this is normal life to some people, right? But there's a demographic that's about to get a wake-up call. And that demographic are the rich and the famous, those who believe that their money is going to get them out of any situation. But there are some situations that your money can't get you out of if you don't prepare properly, right? If you're rich and you're famous, and the crap hits the fan like it did in the Great Depression, you had rich people standing in soup kitchen lines because there was not food to go and buy off of the shelf somewhere, you see. There are some situations where natural disasters can completely uproot your life to where there is no fallout shelter. There is no supply because the supplies have been wiped out. Everything you know has been wiped out. So some things you can't prepare for. This is why we must trust and believe in the Most High, our Creator. Now, I know some of you don't believe in the Creator. That's your problem. I'm going to say that's your problem because He absolutely does exist. And for those of you who say, well, why does He allow so many horrible things to happen? One of these days, I might spend some time telling you why the Most High allows so many horrible things to happen. I mean, I've pretty much already said it. You know, in each segment, I'm telling you this was prophesied and this was stated, that if you don't turn from your wicked ways, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, that this is going to be the end result of it. But maybe some of you need more details as to why the Most High does the things that He does or allows the things that He does, so that you no longer have to wonder why this tragedy is allowed or that tragedy is allowed. You see, it is what it is. One thing that I do know is this. A lot of people need to wake up still, because when I see things such as the article talking about these big corporations, I've known for a long time that these companies are very greedy and that they don't care about you. But it's unfortunate that some people believe that these companies actually do care. When they put in a little tagline in their commercials that kind of implies that they care about their customers and that they want their customers to be happy. They want all of their customers to be treated fairly and all this other fluff talk. Some people actually buy into that stuff and believe it. These companies don't care about you. All they care about is the bottom line. When they go to the bank, when they look at their books, they want to make sure that they are not in the red. They want to make sure that they are soaring above anything near the red. They want to make sure that their bank accounts is going to support the lifestyle that they want. In many cases, those lifestyles include a resort here, a resort there, a resort here, homes in several different countries, vehicles, 100 different vehicles, airplanes and jets, bank accounts oozing with money. That's the kind of living they want. They want the kind of living to where when they show up somewhere, people are going to literally bow to them, you see. And so you are their ticket to that. This is why they are able to make such huge profits, because they have tricked you into believing that you can't make it or you can't live or survive without them. They have created a dependency on their products and services. One of the most, in my opinion, easy things that you can do to free yourself from these corporations is food independence. You see, but some people are afraid of that, or they're too lazy for it. Now, I know that's not the case with everyone, but some people are just too lazy to try to grow their own food. They don't even want to make any attempts. You can give them all different kinds of methods and ways that they can make this happen, even coming together with family, with friends, right? But because they've created a dependency on their companies, they've also created divisions. So once it's called divide and conquer, right? They started chipping away at the togetherness that people once had, the cohesion that people once had. So that now people don't trust each other or can't trust each other. So the cohesion is gone. So when you see a group of people that are working together, you're like, wow, it used to be the norm, but it's not the norm anymore. It's not normal to see people working together anymore. So when you see it, you are amazed. You are amazed. And so now that they've divided everyone, it's easier to conquer, because now folk don't have the mindset of, okay, let me work with my neighbor over here. Let me work with my family over here. That mindset is gone. It no longer exists because they have created that divide. Because that divide exists, it's more difficult to say to a group of people, let's come together and grow some food and create food independence for our family. It's more difficult now, you see, but that is what is needed for survival. Can you imagine if there was a block, in which I've seen eco villages where people have whole communities, literally blocks where everybody is working together. Can you imagine if more blocks were like that, to where, just say there was 20 houses on one block on both sides of the street, and everyone was working together in cohesion. You grow this crop, you grow that one, you grow this one. Everybody is growing something different, or 2 or 3 different things, and everybody pulls it all together. And now you have something from every food group that you all have agreed upon. Can you imagine if people thought like that? But because people are so fragmented and divided, now they have it to where everyone depends on the corporations. And the corporations are able to say that, guess what? We made $1 billion profit every 2 days while you were suffering, while your family was skipping meals, because we know how to work together. Corporations, they stick up for each other. They work together with politicians while everybody is fighting for crumbs on the ground, because they have tricked the minds of people into thinking that that's your enemy, that's your enemy. As a matter of fact, they've made people literal enemies. People are enemies. Enemies come in black and white, all shapes, colors, and sizes. And because they have made people become enemies one to another, this is why there was a songwriter who said in one of his songs, he said, black and white are hating while the money makers are having fun. They looking at you, they done created all this conflict. They stir it all up, the contention. They use the media. They use all kinds of media to just keep people at each other's throat, keep people hating one another, right? And while y'all busy doing all of that, while you busy stirring up the devil over here or stirring up the devil over there, the money makers are having fun, making $1 billion in profit every 2 days, while you can barely make ends meet. That's where we are, though. That is where we are. And if people don't get with the program, they are going to be left in the cold. My suggestion to everyone is you better start doing what you can while you can before you cannot. Because they are trying to get it to that point to where the things that you need are no longer easily accessible. We're already working our way towards that. But it's going to get to the point where either you can't afford it or you can't find it. That's where we are headed. And if you're not paying attention, if you're going to stay in La La Land, that's going to be on you. Nobody has time to wait at the door of La La Land begging you to come out to the other side and go do something about something. Okay? Nobody has time for that. Everybody needs to purpose within their own selves that I'm going to do all that I can while I can, with whomever I can, before it is too late. All right. Keep in mind what I said, y'all. They making profits while other people are scraping by. If you can get a seed in the ground, do all that you can. Get a seed in the ground. Get some seeds in the ground. Grow in containers if you must. Do something. Do something. Because sitting in the seat of do nothing is no longer an option. With that, I want to say I'm out.